Hi, first graders. Happy Wind Down Wednesday. I'm so glad you're here with us this evening. Find someplace cozy to sit and we will get started. Today in class, we started to learn about Martin Luther King Jr. You'll often hear people refer to him using his initials, MLK. We started to complete our KWL chart. K stands for what do you already know about Martin Luther King Jr. W stands for what do you want to learn? And L stands for learned. While having a class discussion today, we shared our schema, information we already know about Martin Luther King Jr. And then when we completed the W part of our chart, we asked some great questions about who Martin Luther King Jr. is, why was he a leader, what life was like when he was alive, and I explained to the class how their questions show that they have understanding and empathy for what people experienced during the time when Martin Luther King was alive. We also talked in class about how there's a lot of work that we can still do to make sure that we make the world a better place. So this evening, we're going to continue to learn about that so that our world is a place where people are respected and differences are celebrated. Last week, we learned about how it's important to care for yourself so that you are the best version of you. Practicing self-care, showing kindness to others, identifying your feelings, managing your emotions, and having positive thinking are all different ways that you can help yourself be the very best version of you. Another way that you can be the very best version of you is think about your mood. A mood board is a great way to help you do that. And during a new year is a fantastic time to make one. A mood board is a collection of pictures, words, and ideas with a theme. The theme might be how you plan on spending 2023. Who do you want to be around in 2023? What are some activities you want to do during 2023? Who are people you want to spend time with during 2023? Put together a mood board that reflects the different parts of you. Get artsy. Whether you use a bulletin board or stick your items into a scrapbook, you can get as creative as you like with your mood board display. Your creativity. Add pictures of things you've created that make you proud. They could be poems, artwork, costumes, or crazy cakes. Your pets and other favorite animals. Add photos of beloved pets, your top 5 animals, or cute critters doing funny things. People you admire. Are you a fan of a particular singer, band, author, activist, or sports person? Add a photo of them in action or write out one of their quotes in gorgeous handwriting. Your hobbies. Capture the ways you spend your free time. Think about how that affects your mood. If you want to spend 2023 feeling happy, calm, excited, you could draw or insert pictures onto your mood board of activities that make you feel those moods. Maybe you want to have a picture of you doing yoga or playing for a team or being in a book club. Important people in your life. Remind yourself of the people you care about with photos of parents, grandparents, and siblings. A letter to future me. Have you ever thought about what you might be like in the future? Picture yourself in 5 or 10 years' time and try writing yourself a letter. Write about you and your life now, the things you've learned, what you hope for, and any advice you have for future you. I hope that if you make a mood board, you bring it into class and share it with our class community. Agreeing to disagree in a healthy, respectful way is a very important skill. Let's learn about how you can do that. When you feel strongly about a topic, it can be hard to hear that someone disagrees with you. It's important, however, to consider or think about things from other points of view. Think about how the other person is thinking about the problem. Even if you don't end up changing your mind and matching the way they think about it, it's important to consider why they are thinking about something differently. Listen. Pay attention to what the person is saying when they're speaking to you. And don't talk over them or rush in with your view. So we focus a lot in class on how there's one speaker at a time. That way, everyone is heard. To show someone that you're listening, you can repeat their key points, right? You can repeat the important information that they said. That way, they will know that you were listening and you cared about what they had to say. Say how you feel. We use I feel statements often in class. When we use I feel statements, it's a healthy and respectful way to communicate how you're feeling. When you respond to someone who is speaking with you, try saying things like, "That's an interesting view, but here's why I disagree." If they try to interrupt, politely ask them if they will let you finish. You could say something like, "Can you please let me finish?" You want to make sure you show respect. Don't put the other person down or dismiss their views with negative comments. You want to always make sure that you're not dipping anyone's bucket. And if you dismiss their views, that means that you are not giving their views attention, right? You want them to listen carefully to your views and give your views attention. So you want to make sure that you give their point of view attention. And it's important to try to understand the reasons for why they feel a certain way. We're all different. We come from different communities, different families, different belief systems. So thinking about why someone might feel a certain way is important. And when you do that, it shows that you're listening with understanding and empathy. When we were asking questions today about Martin Luther King and his life and the time in which he lived, the questions that were being asked really showed that our class community shows understanding and empathy for people who were not treated fairly. Don't get personal. Remember, it's just that one point of view you disagree with. don't get angry with the other person and never result to insults. So it's really important that you don't make bucket dipping statements or do any name calling if you disagree with someone. Okay, it's important to keep it in perspective and remember, oh, this is one area that we disagree on. You might have a lot of connections and agree in a lot of ways with someone, but because we're all different, it's very likely that you'll disagree with people. And it's important to be able to disagree with them in a healthy, respectful, and safe way. Stay calm. It can be a challenge to stay calm when you feel passionately about something. Take time out if you feel the discussion is getting heated. So if you're feeling like you're getting out of the green zone on our zones of regulation chart, when you're talking with someone about something you disagree on, take a break. Say, I need a break, or I'm going to go take a break and I'll come back to this discussion when I feel calmer. It's not about winning or losing. You don't have to end up agreeing. It's hearing each other out and respecting each other's opinions that leads to a kinder, more understanding world. I enjoyed reading with you about healthy, safe, and respectful ways to agree to disagree. Next week, we will be reading about community. We started our discussion today on how all of our differences is what makes a community interesting. We would have a very boring world if we were all the same, if we had the same beliefs, everyone looked the same, spoke the same, learned the same. So it is special that communities have people with similarities and differences, and celebrating those differences is one very important way to make sure that we are working to make a better world. I'm looking forward to continuing to learn about Martin Luther King Jr. and the difference that he made, and continuing our discussion on how we can continue his work by encouraging respectful and safe interactions with others, whether they are similar to us or different. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Good night.